Hi there folks. Today I'm going to talk to you about the modifications I had done to my Colt Walker Revolver, and here it is. The modifications done by Goons Gunworks. Before I set up this gun, it really was, it was okay, but after a while it kind of turned into a clunker. As you saw in my review of this gun, I was having a ton of trouble with it. So let's go take a look back at some of the problems that were having. The reason I'm having so many misfires is because my wedge is backing out. Alright. And you saw just there, I had my rain rod drop a little bit. That's a common occurrence with the Walker because it's just held up by this T-spring here instead of a barrel stud at the near the muzzle. So, but this gun hasn't been dropping it too bad, and it looks like my wedge is backing out again. Okay, so you can see some of the problems we were having there. The wedge is backing out. That's a sign that you're getting a gap issue between cylinder and the barrel gap. Even just with a relatively moderate charge, there wasn't even a max charge, like 60 grains of powder. And if you saw the Walker repair video, where I was talking about the repairs that are needed for this gun, a little bit of metal was swelling right around the wedge slot in the barrel, and I couldn't get the barrel off. It was a mess. So I sent it off to Goons Gunworks, and I just got it back a few days ago, and he really does some amazing work. The action is so smooth now. You could fan the gun if you bring the hammer all the way back, so make sure you do that, but the gun is so smooth. The action, I mean, it's easier to cock than a Navy. I mean, the action is just so smooth, and he sets the tolerances right so that you, in a perfect world with a cap and ball revolver, you should be able to, when you pull the trigger and the hammer falls, it shouldn't hit the nipple, it should just hit the cap and not the nipple. Well, he sets it up so that it's doing that, and it can be dry fire now because there's no, it won't hit the nipple now and mushroom the nipple. It's safe to dry fire. And so I want to tell you about some of the repairs, or some of the stuff he does to the guns. He corrects the arbor length and bends the arbor. This allows the gun to act as one piece and not two assemblies just kind of held together by the wedge. The wedge shouldn't define the gap between the cylinder and the barrel. Usually, before you get a modified, tuned-up gun, you know, the more you put in the wedge, the tighter it'll get. On an Uberti, more because they have short arbors and they come up more easier. And if you have the wedge in a little too far, it'll bind, it'll freeze up. Piettas, they don't have this problem as much, but the arbor length, the barrel to cylinder gap, and arbor is embedded correctly, so it's a little off, but it's better than the Ubertis in that sense. Ubertis are much better guns in other ways, but Pietta is better in that way. But anyway, there's another repair I'm going to get to. I'm going to just read off some of these other stuff he does to the gun, modifications. He sets the barrel to cylinder gap to .002 and .0025. It kind of depends on the gun, but he puts it around there. This eliminates the debris just coming out of when you fire the gun. All the junk is going down the barrel, not anywhere else. I fired this gun yesterday, and I cleaned it. It was a lot easier to clean. There's no fouling out on the barrel, on the outside of the barrel here, pretty much. It was just all down the barrel. And I wasn't using well, actually, I was using watts a little bit, but it just ran smoothly. He sculpts the bolt head. This allows for an earlier entry into the locking notch in the cylinder and will prevent the notch from damage. Sculpting also reduces weight and increases efficiency, so it makes it such a smoother when you cock it, and it gets the timing right on. And he also puts in an action stop right under the hammer, so when you cock it, you can't once it's at full cock, you can't go anymore. Some guns, if you cock your gun back, you'll see that when you go to pull the hammer back a little more, it will move a little bit. You put an action stop in there so that that won't happen anymore. He puts a cap post in the frame right near the nipple, and here it is. This is a huge feature. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know if you can see that, but we're going to take some better pictures of this later to show you. But that eliminates cap jams. You could try different nipples all you want and other stuff. That's the way to prevent cap jams. He hardens and fire blues the screws, and what that does, it makes them stronger. The screws on these guns are pretty soft. They're really easy to bugger up. But when he fire blues the screws and hardens them, they're a lot harder to do that with, and it actually looks a lot nicer too. I don't know if you can see that. He individually tunes springs. He also sets the perfect timing, and he puts in a arbor set screw, and that's what defines the barrel to cylinder gap, or it gets a firmer bearing on a wedge. I'm sorry, that's what I meant to say. This gives you an adjustable bearing and allows you to compensate for wear to the wedge. So getting this perfect barrel cylinder gap and having the arbor bedded will allow you to fire heavy charges without any problems. So you can fire 6 full house loads. Normally, these guns, they don't have the correct gap, barrel cylinder gap, so they'll just beat themselves down over time. Mine, with a relatively low charge, mine was doing that still. And so I'm going to take some pictures of all the modifications on the internal parts, and we'll get to that right now. Here's the action stop that I told you about for when the gun's at full cock. It can't travel back any farther. And here's another view of it. In this picture, on the right, that thing that looks like a washer is in fact a spacer. What that does, it reduces tension. And on the left there is the bolt block. And here's another picture of the spacer. As you can see here on the end of the arbor, he drills in a threaded hole and inserts a set screw, and that is for adjusting the bearing on the wedge so you can get a good snug fit. This is the modification he makes to the T-spring. He files a little notch right at the bottom of that T-spring there, and that holds up the lever when it's being fired. This picture shows the cap post that prevents the caps from being sucked back into the action, and as you can see there in the hammer, you can see the little notch that's filed so that fits over the cap post. One other thing really quickly, I just want to show you how smooth the action is. You could it's just so easy to cock. It's just so nice, so slick. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, and I'm going to be sending you some more guns, and I would suggest that you do too. You will love his work. His price is extremely reasonable. I'll leave a link to his website, and you could call him up, contact him. He's happy to help you, answering any questions that you may have. So, thanks for watching, and until next time, have a good day.